All right, so I wanted to give you guys an update on another side project that I'm working on. I know I have like 3-4 different side projects and I can't stay focused. So this is a small one I'm working on. It's kind of like a microservice, micro UI, where I just want to have an application deployed where people can come and subscribe to my newsletter, and I will send you updates, or like if I plan to make any courses in the future or something. But really, this is just something fun to work on, and I'm going to kind of like walk you through the code that I have and how it all works. As far as the code, this is created using the T3 stack. So we got Next, we got Tailwind, we got, we're not using Prisma, we're actually using dynamodb to store the subscriptions. So let me actually, instead of talking about the code, let me show you how it all works. I'm gonna go to my database real quick. And again, I'm using dynamodb. So I can just go ahead and delete some subscription items. And here we have nothing in our database right now. It's an empty database. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the full flow. So basically, my subscribers can come here, type in their email, and click subscribe. And what this is going to do is it's going to hit a backend TRPC route. Technically, it's called a mutation, which is going to basically insert some data into a database. Simple enough. I still got to work on the UI. Like I need to change the button to be disabled when you click it. Maybe show a spinner because it did delay a little bit before it switched over. But once you've successfully subscribed, it shows this page. It has a link to my Discord. It has my Gmail if you wanted to actually email me directly. I do plan to maybe add some social media links somewhere, either in the header or the footer. But it's a really, really basic application. And when you subscribe, if I go over back to DynamoDB, we have some records that are set up. We have a subscription. This is like the unique ID that the user has to use to unsubscribe, right? When I send out emails, I'm going to go ahead and put that in a link at the bottom of the email, where if they click on unsubscribe, it uses this UID so that they can unsubscribe from my newsletter and they don't get my junk email anymore. But the way DynamoDB works, you kind of can't like query on whatever fields that you want unless you create a global secondary index. I didn't want to create a GSI for this, so instead I just stored 2 records, which has the primary key being an email and the site sort key also being an email as well. It's just a way for me to like do a lookup either using the subscription ID, or I can do a lookup using the email. There's different ways you can do this in Dynamo. I'm just doing the way that I want to do it, which I think works fine. So now that email is actually added to my system. So let me show you another thing that I'm working on, where I'm going to go and type in /compose. And this is a page that I've been working on to basically allow me to quickly type in whatever title that I want. I could say like, thanks for subscribing, or a week in review. And then I could paste in some HTML and I can get a preview over here. And now as I started creating this, I realized like, why do I even need this? I could simply just open up the HTML in a preview like this and play around with it. But it is kind of nice to just see like a quick little preview over here. And I have some links to my videos that I did. I have a little description about like why the video might be important for you to watch. And then I have a little thumbnail. The thumbnails look kind of janky. I'm not sure why there's a top banner here, but I'm just using a link that's provided by YouTube. So I guess that's what they give me for thumbnails. Either that or my thumbnails are just kind of bad. But anyway, so when I click send in emails, it basically is going to hit an endpoint to loop over every single entry, all the emails that are in my subscription list. And I filter it down because there's duplicates. There's like 2 times. I do a DynamoDB scan, which basically grabs all the data. And then I loop over every email and I send out this email. So let's try that out. I'm going to click send emails. And this is actually using Amazon SES behind the scenes to send out those emails. I obviously need to improve the user experience here because I just clicked the button. Nothing happened. Maybe I should go to a different page or something. But anyway, let's go over to my email now. We can see that we now got an email. So this is kind of like what I'm working towards. I don't know how to actually get the styling to be proper. I've been trying to play around with the styling. For some reason, it's not like rendering this out in HTML, which I think I need to actually do something different. Let me open up this file and see what happens. I just grab this code. I'm going to do it again. You know, Amazon gives you X amount of emails for free with SES, but they do end up charging you per email. So I will get charged over time from sending out these emails. And hopefully they don't end up blocking me. I think I'm a spam thing. Yeah, so the styling's not like there yet, and I need to figure out a better solution for these thumbnails. So that is the idea of what I'm building. Now I do plan to deploy this to probably Vercel to start off with, because I think they're pretty cheap / free. And they have like a built-in API and stuff. So that's my goal. And I also plan to add authentication onto this compose endpoint, because I don't want anyone just hitting my backend API and sending out random emails to my subscribers. And I need to kind of do my due diligence to make sure that these emails are secured and that no one can actually just like hack my system and download these emails, because that would be bad as well. But I can give a really quick overview of the code if you guys are interested. Basically, if I go to my index page, that's where you can submit or subscribe to my newsletter. So we got a form here. It has an input and a subscribe button. You type in your email and I click subscribe, and that goes to a method which hits an endpoint. Okay, so this is using tRPC. It's using mutation to hit a subscribe endpoint. Now let's go and check out the subscribe mutation. Basically, anyone can hit this public endpoint and send in their email. And I just create a subscription record. Well, first of all, I check, is there already a subscription with that email? And if there is, let's just return, because we don't need to resubscribe the same person, right? But if there's not, we create a UID, we create a subscription record, and we also create an email record, and then we return success. So that's what you're seeing over here in Dynamo, how those two records are created. Now, what I didn't show is unsubscribing. So let's go back to the email. Let's go to the bottom and see if there's an unsubscribe that I should have added. So it's right here. It's very hard to see, but if I click it, that's actually going to go and unsubscribe that user. So if I go back to the list here and hit refresh, that data is gone. I no longer have that email in my database, which is probably what you want to do. Some people might keep the emails around and just keep them disabled. I think it's probably better to like not have the email at all if they don't want to be part of your mailing list. Yeah, so how did that flow work, right? So there's a page called unsubscribe, and when you hit it, it takes this unsubscribe ID. It passes that on to the backend using mutation. And if we look at the subscription router, we have an unsubscribe, which takes in an unsubscribe ID. And we get the subscription using a dynamodb get call, right? And then if there is no subscription, we just return, because like you can't unsubscribe with an invalid ID or a non-existing ID. But if we did get back a subscription, we go ahead and delete that record and we delete the email record. Okay, so instead of adding those two records like we did above, we just delete them. And that's how my subscribe and my unsubscribe kind of works. And again, you know, there's like UI stuff to show alerts and show success messages. This is all kind of a prototype. I need to come back through and actually like spice this up a little bit, make it nicer, cleaner. But I also spent some time doing, I have some like background body hard coded there. Let me get rid of that. There we go. So that's kind of what I've been working on. Now, how does the compose page work, right? Because that's a different page. Basically, it's a form that has a name or a subject field, and it has a HTML body field. And as you saw, as you typed into those things and you click send emails, that is also going to do a mutation on the back end. And it also kind of shows the HTML that you're typing with a dangerously set inner HTML. So that's how I'm getting the preview on the right. But let's look at the back end, because that's actually the cool part. And let's go to the compose. So basically what this is doing, it does a scan over my entire database, and then it filters out the records that only have a primary key starting with email. And then we just loop through all those emails, and we create an unsubscribe button for that user, and then we send an email to that user. And the body is going to basically take the body that we sent in the HTTP request. We concatenated that with an unsubscribe link and an unsubscribe text. Again, this is using SES send email. So I'm sending an email to SES, and then SES is going to handle sending out that subscription to my users. And then source is like basically the from. You can kind of say who it's from and then specify the domain. Now, there was one piece of the puzzle that you have to basically do to get this all set up, and that is you have to verify your domain in SES. So if I go over to Amazon SES, and let's go over to, let's see, verified identity. So I had to add in, actually, I don't think I need this. Let me get rid of this guy. Let me delete that one. Let me make sure this thing still works. I'm going to do one more test here. I'm just going to add my thing, subscribe. I'm going to go over here and just send out the email one more time and make sure that I still get an email alert. Okay, it still worked fine. Awesome. So how did I get this all set up in SES? It's pretty straightforward. You basically create a new identity and you say it's going to be a domain, right? So I say domain, and then I do easy DKM. I did the 248-bit. I disable that one and I clicked create. Now, after you create it, it's going to give you some things that you have to put into your CNAME DNS record. So I don't remember where that is. I think it's like over here. Okay, so inside a published DNS record, if you look at this, you have to copy and paste these 3 records into your DNS. So I'm using Google Domains here. And if I go over my domains for my web dev Cody and manage that, and go over to DNS, you'll see that I have those 3 records and a couple of other ones added to my resource records, right? My custom records. Those basically allow SES to verify that you actually own that domain, right? Because you don't want anyone to just send you random emails. They want to verify that you own the domain so that when they add that to the from, where it says newsletter Cody, webdevcody.com, there's a process going on behind the scenes that basically verifies that like you are the one sending that out, right? Or otherwise your emails just go straight to the junk folder or the trash folder or whatever. They get filtered out by Gmail and other stuff. So that's kind of how I had that all set up. And of course, I have some permissions set up to allow my AWS user and some policies set up to allow my terminal, my running application to send out these emails, right? So yeah, I'll probably just continue making a couple more videos on this until I get it polished and get it fully deployed to Vercel or wherever I plan to deploy it to. And hopefully people can start subscribing to this and really load test this thing, because I guarantee you there's a couple of bugs in here, but so far I've been trying to do a good job like making it all. So if you enjoyed this little overview, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, give me a comment, subscribe, and also be sure to join my Discord if you want to talk to me directly or just find a place to hang out with some other developers. Have a good day and happy coding.